There are many ways innocent people can be swindled out of money. HCTV learned about an IRS scam that occurred in Harrison and other common ways people can be tricked into giving up both money and personal information.
On Monday, July 28th, a Harrison resident came to our headquarters and explained to us that he had received a phone call from someone claiming to be from the IRS Investigations Bureau. They made a claim to him that he had unpaid federal taxes in the amount of $1,900 and that he was going to be arrested if he didn't pay these taxes. They didn't get to the point where they explained to him how they were going to get this money from him because he was somewhat suspect, and he ended the phone call and he came here.
Okay.
We then called the number back that he had on his caller ID, and there was an answering machine actually that answered that they were the IRS office. We hung up on the answering machine, we called back, and a male answered the phone and claimed to be a member of the IRS. When asked what their address was, he gave the correct address, which can be garnered from the IRS website, but he could not articulate who was in charge of the Criminal Investigations Bureau, which led us to believe that obviously it was a phony scam. So that's where it is. This is currently under investigation, and we'll see where that goes. There are a lot of telephone scams. The biggest one that people are familiar with lately is the PSE&G scam. Somebody will call, claim they're from PSE&G, tell you that your electric is going to be paid off or shut off, or your gas is going to be shut off because you didn't pay your bill. And some people will fall for this because of the fear that they're going to lose their utility. They don't think to go back to their bills or look at the last check. They take the caller at face value. And what they'll generally do is ask for money to be Western Union or those green dot cards. I don't know, a lot of people are familiar with them. That's where basically digitally you can send money to somebody else quickly. And they'll go through with this. They'll send this money, and it's only after the fact that they realize they were scammed. Here in Harrison, at least twice a month, I see a report come across my desk where somebody's receiving some sort of a phone call like that.
But that doesn't mean that a lot of people is actually coming forward.
That's absolutely true. We discuss that a lot. When people ask about averages and statistics, we can only tell you about the crime that's reported. So many people are scammed. They realize they were scammed, and they're somewhat embarrassed. They don't want to come to the police.
He then told us how people can prevent falling victim to these types of scams.
That any legitimate call can be followed up. If somebody claims they're from PSE&G and that doesn't sound right, or any entity and it doesn't sound right, hang up and call the number that you have on file in your bill and question it that way. Anybody who calls you and asks you for your date of birth, your social security number, your account number, they're not going to do that. You should call back. Even the police department themselves. If somebody claimed to be the police department and you were unsure, no harm is going to come to you if you simply hang up the phone and call your local police department to double check that. Just like people come into the door, your utilities, they're going to have some sort of an identification, something with a phone number on it that you can verify. I wouldn't let anybody in the house simply because they claim to be from the water department or PSE&G.
So have you seen cases, have you heard cases about people coming to people's houses? And
Yes, we refer to them as diversion burglaries. Sometimes two or more people will come to the house, especially they prey on senior citizens, people who are home during the day, and say basically, we're from the water department and there's a major leak, or we're from the gas department, or we're from the electric department, we need to get into your basement. A lot of people let them in. They may even have a shirt that resembles that or some sort of an emblem, or they look outside and maybe they see a truck that looks like it may be from that utility. They let them in, and while one guy is occupying the person, the victim, another person is basically going through the house and robbing the house. If somebody's coming to the house and claiming to have to get in for a repair or anything like that, they should say, hold on, or ask for ID, have them pass it through a mail slot, and they should simply call the police department. If they can't get through to the utility because you run into those automated answering machines, that can be tedious. Call the police department. It's never a bother if you think you are going to be the victim of a scam or any kind of a crime. Call the police department. A officer will come to the house and verify that person's employment.